apprentices in Mary's abodes as well. 2 large farms have been dug out and are growing well, producing enough food for us easily. Although we could use more milk and eggs, we are lacking in that department. Savannah wrote another note.
Some on my next trip.
Thank you, Shara.
Some on my next trip.
Sighing, I shook my head. I don't have enough barrels right now. You didn't bring me any this time, and I need... You didn't bring me any this time, and I need the ones I have for potions. With another firm nod, Savannah held her clipboard to her chest.
I'll gather for the barrels.
I'd appreciate that. Will you be able to make more trips? I asked. Nodding, she moved to Mary's room.
I'll be sent. Let the guards know.
Hello, Gwen. How are you tonight?
Passing through.
Amara.
Passing through.
Amara agreed to tell them before pushing Mary's door open, revealing the workshop that was tidier than the bedroom she had in my house. Herbs were hanging. Herbs were hanging from the ceiling, dried and ready to... Herbs were hanging from the ceiling, dried and ready for use, while pots of different ingredients were on a shelf that I didn't realize she had built.
Mary. Orders down here.
Amara explained.
Each abode the same design. Bovines.
I agreed. Dang, my throat. I agreed and added, we don't know how many people will move here, but we want to be ready. That means more mattresses once I have the numbers.
I'll stock some.
Savannah promised.
Would it be possible? Self, Tanner.
Rubbing my chin, I thought it over. I can probably spare a day to do it. It'll help me raise my cooking profession, so I'm more than happy to do so. Amara rolled her eyes.
Crafter.
Chuckling, I turned away from my mate. I'll need a steady supply of plaques and construction wood and materials for the builders. Hello, Luna. We can't keep using the iron wood, so I'm counting on you. Blowing out her first rough breath, Savannah nodded and wrote down another note.
It's here already.
We are only just getting started, I joked. We are going to change the world. I hope you are ready. Rachel shivered and Savannah giggled. Amara rolled her eyes. Amara rolled her eyes again as we left the room. Once we left the village, you couldn't even tell we were underground as the adjustment of light was smooth. Pretty soon, I would be adding even more enchantments for the... Pretty soon, I would be adding even more... Pretty soon, I would be adding even more enchantments for those living here. I just needed to get my apprentices to the point they could handle the common stuff. Thank you, Cher Bear. I appreciate that. Welcome to all my people viewing on Twitch and Facebook as well. All right. That chapter's done. That was chapter 24 of the book Homestead Crafter 2. What is today? Today's the 22nd, yeah? Yeah. All right. It took me 14 minutes, 45 seconds to record. It was a 12-minute, 3-second chapter. March 22nd. Done. I did narrate Fairy-Dale. What was what? Look. All right, export that. No, I just looked over and I saw that I had 617 viewers on Facebook, so that was pretty cool. Thank you, Osha. I appreciate that. I worked hard on Fairy-Dale. It was my first romantasy book, so it was fun. If you get hired to do one book of a series, are you hired for the whole series? Sometimes. Sometimes not. And sometimes we agree to do the whole series. Sometimes we just agree to do the one, and then they see if it works for them and go on. Okay, so that was chapter 24. All right, Britt. No recommendations. Just go to Audible, type in my name, and see what catches your fancy. I've got like 250 to 300 books, so. Hi, Melania. You want to do this? You've been told your voice is sexy. Do it. OneDrive, audiobook production. Whoops. Okay. And I need to rename the previous file I exported as well because I exported incorrectly. Do I do a variety of genres? Yes, I do. I do a lot of, lit RPG, science fiction, various romance subcategories, like romantasy and dark romance. What else have I done? That's about it, really. I've not done any thrillers or horror books yet, but I want to, so. But right now, recently, I've been focusing mostly on the romance books. Hello, Gina. Welcome to my my live here on Facebook. It's a new thing I'm doing. I haven't done Facebook Lives until recently, so. Do you read everything before narrating? I do not. Not at all. You would be amazing in a thriller. Thank you, KJB. Okay, moving on to chapter 25. Chapter 25. Tara yawned as she rolled over, nearly bumping into Allison, who was sitting on the edge of her bed. Shit. There we go. Oh, I need this. And I am working with another narrator on this one. That's why you can hear the girl voice in my headphones playing through my speakers or my microphone.
What the hell?
Damn.
What the hell?
Tara nearly jumped up. Giggling, Allison patted Tara's side.
Or today.
Groaning, Tara rubbed her eyes.
Wake yet? No. Be ready early.
With a grunt, Tara sat up.
What? Have snuck in? Yep. Joined you in bed.
And with a deadpan expression, Tara pushed the woman away.
Out of here.
Laughing, Allison hopped up and hurried out.
Huh? Others.
Rubbing her head, Tara tried to wake up further. I don't have a favorite book, K-Dog. Haven't you asked me that question like 12 times? Oh, Possum Parabellum, do you know my voice? How do you know my voice? Do I know you? Flipping on the light, she regarded the stack of papers on her desk and winced. She still had 2 weeks of reports and Audible. Okay, well, that's good. Didn't know if I knew you from, like, the bar or something. She still had 2 weeks of reports and recruitment papers to get through, not to mention the trade deals that Rachel was setting up and the deals with the other guilds. A third ally had recently joined, and their small outpost was exploding with activity. In fact, getting into the dungeon was taking longer and longer each day as people showed up. Although the first floor was massive and people were able to spread out with relative ease, getting through the first few rooms took time and had to be rotated through. Glancing at her set armor, Tara groaned again. Slipping into the bathroom, she took care of her needs before getting ready. Her run through the dungeon today needed to be quick so she could get back to her work. At the rate she was going, she would need to hire an assistant. Rachel would, too. Hammering in the last sign, I smiled at the path from the homestead to the edge of the forest. Sam, Mary, and Ander were by my side, keeping watch as if I needed it. The signs were placed a quarter-mile apart from one another and linked in a line that melted the snow and protected the ground. Creating the enchantments was rather simple once I started. My apprentices watched in awe as I knocked out the signs and created the extras that Savannah would need. The dungeon was roughly 20 miles from Durnst, so I created 100 signs for that trip. From the edge of the forest to Durnst was only 2 miles, so I didn't need as many, but they were all done and ready for Savannah. The last 2 weeks had been productive, and 2 trade caravans had come through. First, I received the supplies I needed for the signs, as well as the other stuff I ordered from Savannah. Rachel had come back on week 2 to collect her gear, which nearly overloaded her wagon. But now that I was caught up, I could finally relax. Heading back to the homestead, I was met by Amara, a picnic basket on her arm and a blanket draped over her shoulder. "Ready?" I asked. "Thank you, Brandy and Sam." I think thank you, Brandy. I don't know if you're like, wow, that is terrible. But Sam, definitely thank you. I also think. Do you ever go to in-person bookish events? Yes, Knox Social Club. I will be at Kink and Ink in less than a month, and I will be I'll have a booth at Villains and Vixens and Book Harvest. I'll be at Sinners and Spellbound in the Valley. Thank you, Francesca. Humming, she stepped forward and kissed my cheek.
Ready when you are. Oh.
Mary teased. Chuckling, I ruffled her hair, earning a growl and smack. "Oh, thank you, Melania. I appreciate that. Thank you, Brandy. You're so sweet."
Really?
To the hot spring. Both girls got giddy as they dragged me away. It was technically my day off, even if I finished the signs. Now it was time to truly relax before all of the apprentices took time off. We had discussed in length the need to balance work and home life. Everyone agreed to take 1 full day off each week, and every afternoon was spent away from work, just like my schedule. Valerie protested at first until I leveled a look that made her shrink in on herself. Once I had won, she gave in and made her promise. What I didn't know was how much harder she was going to start working to make up for that day off. She easily made the most enchantments compared to the others. All 3 of my enchanters had broken up duties. Mark worked on home goods, like the plaques. Kevin worked on jewelry, while Valerie expanded her knowledge on armor and weapons. Lord of XP farming. Yes, I did that one. Trying to remember. I've done like 300 books, so trying to remember. Yeah, that one was good. She had already passed the point that I expected and was working on 4 rune sequences. I let her brand anything she finished, and she was coming up with ideas that even I hadn't tried. And once I talked to her about how my enchantments focused on home goods, we came to an agreement to share what we knew with one another. Do I limit myself on how many signings you go to a year? As long as it's not too many. This is the first year I'm going to, conventions and stuff, so, last year I went to one and I loved it. Fairytale, yes, I did. She didn't use the home good enchantments, but she did copy them down in a small book. As for me, I copied her runes, and we exchanged notes with the others. It was nice to have It was nice to have others to work on projects with. The alchemists were creating all 3 of my standard potions now: healing, elemental healing, and the black elixir of regrowth. They were uncommon to expert quality, depending on who was making them, but they would still sell well. The other 6 apprentices. You're listening to Envy. Neat. I'm about to start on Wrath, the second book of that series, so that's cool. Hello over here on Facebook. I see I've gotten a lot of followers tonight. Thank you all for following me, for those who have stuck around. Not neglecting. I did amazing at Spellbound. Oh, thank you, Melania. The other 6 apprentices were working as hard as they could to expand their skills. The underground village was expanding quickly, and we had families asking to move in to be closer to the school. Thank you, Ashley. That's funny. What in the heck do I drink to keep my voice smooth like that? I chain smoke all day and drink Monster. The playground was well used. The playground was well used and finally enchanted for self-repair and durability, as well as area healing. It was one of my grandest projects, and the parents loved it. Little by little, the homestead was growing. It was exciting to see so much changing, even if it wasn't what I set out to do. But all of those were thoughts for tomorrow. I was about to get slapped for even letting them drift through my mind. Amara cleared her throat next to me.
Really? Tanner?
Sorry, I mumbled. Sighing, Amara picked up our pace. Cowrie had joined us this time, clearly pregnant and showing as... Cowrie had joined us this time, clearly pregnant and showing as Sam practically clung to her side. Ander watched with envy, yet eagerness for his son to heal. The wolf was regaining muscle and fat over the last few weeks as his core was spinning normally once again. Even, I'm reading a book called Homestead Crafter 2.
We're near.
Get a little less of that.
Nearly there.
Amara announced.
Mary. Suit I gave you. Already on.
Mary answered. Touching my pants and the shorts I had on underneath, I couldn't help but smile. Amara had thought of everything to make sure we were comfortable in front of each other. A few minutes later, we reached the clearing with the spring, and Mary quickly pulled off her shirt and pants. Gasping at the snow-covered ground, she danced forward before jumping into the water with a loud splash. Good night, Francesca. Thank you for coming in. Ander shook his head and carried her clothes over to the warm edge before slipping into the water as well. The other book to envy with you. Yes, Melania. Yes, she will be. Sam and Cal rejoined them, and I helped Amara with the basket. She was next to get She was next to get undressed and into the water, leaving me lingering for a moment. Thank you, Avon. I'm glad to hear that. I hope you are very relaxed.
Up. Up.
Amara called after me.
It's in here.
With a small laugh, I carried the basket over to the warm edge so our towels would be nice after we were done. Slipping out of my normal clothes, I folded them nicely and set them aside before joining the others in the spring. This is nice, I hummed.
Winner.
Mary said with the same hum.
Perfect. What? This. But we.
What the hell?
Perfect for winner.
Well, she missed a line, so I gotta send this to her real quick. Copy image. Alright, get to sleep, Ashley. Hello, Isis. How are you tonight? This is chapter 25. Okay. At work getting ready. What are you getting ready for? How long does it typically take them to edit everything and get the book out? Not my side of things. I couldn't tell you. I don't keep track of like when the book drops or anything. Amara promised.
But
Usually not too long though, within a couple weeks.
did this.
All of us nodded. Cowrie yawned and rested her head against the ledge of the spring, her eyes closed as Sam watched over her. Andrew stayed. Midnight ballerina. Fantastic. Andrew stayed near Mary. Andrew stayed near Mary, ready to catch her, just in case something went horribly wrong. As for me, I pulled Amara into my side, snuggling her in close as I closed my eyes. All the characters read their part before you go in and you get to correct them. Yeah, I mean, kinda, BB. Like, she sends me all her lines and then I just punch them in as I go. Will you please call me this? You gotta pay for that, Nomi, darling. I'll be doing shit for free. My minutes passed in silence as I savored the warm water and the gentle bubbles. It wasn't until something probed my senses that I sat up. Sam quickly climbed out of the water while Ander pulled Mary. Thank you, Lauren. You are a very good girl. Sam quickly climbed out of the water while Ander pulled Mary behind him and out of the water. Cowrie slipped over to Naomi, hiding with her as I stood and prepared myself.
What's going on? What's going on?
Thank you, Isis.
What's going on?
Mary asked her in a near panic. Amara was holding Cowrie.
Someone is here. Someone is here.
A growl filled the air from the child as I prepared for a fight. Sam was inching forward with me before an elegant woman with red scales on her cheeks, a red silk robe, and a slender lizard-like tail with red scales stepped out of the trees. And just behind her, a little girl, nearly identical, was clinging to the hem of the woman's robe, walking just behind her. Who are you? I demanded. The woman's elegance broke in that moment. Her voice was a tide of power in the gentlest form. Meliodas. Evening. I'm sure there is a much more eloquent way to say that name. Her voice was a tide of power in the gentlest form. Flowing crimson hair fluttered in the small breeze as she pulled the little girl tight against her leg. What do you mean? I asked, slightly lowering my defense. Frowning, I finally dropped my guard completely. You didn't answer my questions. The woman swallowed hard before bowing at the waist, her robe shifting and revealing a slightly withered collarbone and shoulders. She likely once had an even more elegant figure. She likely once had an even more elegant figure, but it had shrunk considerably. What? Before I knew what I was doing, I reached for the basket and took out the sandwiches. Well, hello, Sassy Jim. How are you? Cool. I got it. At ease, Ming. I have a feeling there is much to your story. I want like 6 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I wonder if... Yeah, dude. You ever just try to eat one peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Not good. Ah, no, I can't do just 2. Grill it? No. I ain't eating no peanut butter and pickle. I'm not pregnant. Well, okay. What do you guys eat? The Vegemite or whatever? It's a lot of work. Nah, it's not too much on my throat. I don't know. But every time I make one, every time I make 2, been there. Um, Peanut butter and jelly with bacon sounds kind of fucking good, honestly. Um, but no, I just want like a stack that high of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I just want to eat them at my leisure. Crunchy or creamy depends on my mood. What do you drink with it? Nothing. Peanut butter and banana. I've heard it's good, but I'm allergic to bananas, so I don't fuck with that. I shouldn't do that. I like peanut butter on toast, and I like jelly on toast, so, it's probably great. Standing up, she was about to resume her proud stance when she staggered and her strength failed her. Rushing forward, I caught her and lowered her to her knees, despite the snow. Nim was openly crying as she clung to her mother. "Mary!" I called out. Well, I'm not eating no dry-ass peanut butter. It's got, peanut butter oil in it. My daughter sprinted over. "You should try a peanut butter and jelly." It might not be good to you, though, because it's not like... Tell that to Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch destroys my mouth. My daughter sprinted over and helped lead Nim over to the warmth of the spring.
Come with me. I died.
The little girl trembled as she was pulled from her mother and couldn't stop crying. Holding Ming, I gently picked her up, slightly crushing the sandwiches while I was at it. Moving her to the edge of the spring, I helped her sit and put her feet in the water. Embracing her, I handed each of them a sandwich. "You need those. No. You need those more than we do. Please eat," I urged. With a trembling hand, Ming brought the food to her lips and took a dainty bite. Once she was confident it was safe, she nodded to her daughter, who promptly started devouring the sandwich. Man, they're eating a sandwich. Ming said softly after her first few bites. "What stories?" I asked. "How have you been traveling for weeks and know about me?" Forcing a smile, Ming's lip trembled. "What do you mean, burned?" "What?" "PB&J, but make French toast." Shit, that sounds good. "What do you mean, burned?" I asked. That sounds really fucking good, actually. Shivering, she nearly collapsed against me. I'm going to be obsessing over peanut butter and jelly until I eat some. 11.
The others.
Amara asked. All right, Melania, you're getting a little too fancy for me.
Yes. Yes.
Ming said.
The
We need to get you to the homestead, I said as she finished. We can talk more there. Whenever I make a click, that's where I need to. It's just a visual cue for where I need to put a line. Talk more there. Grabbing my hand, Ming shook her head. Cool. All right, that one's done. Took me a little long on that one, 24 minutes. Midnight snacks need spicing up sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you just need to eat them off of someone. All right, 24, 3, and 11:52. That's what that took. March 22nd. Done. Write what down, TL? Sometimes you just need to eat them off of someone? You write that down. You can have that one. All right, chapter 26. Oh, you're saying I should make a video out of it. What are you talking about, Sassy Jim? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here talking into a microphone and to a bunch of women up past 10 o'clock. 26. Chapter 25. You're taking a break? Good. Sometimes you need to. I'm about to take a break to make 6 freaking peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. At least 4. At least 4. Yeah, let's go. Y'all are coming with me this time because I got like 70 viewers right now and I don't want to lose them. I'm not putting any fucking pickles on my sandwiches. I don't have any croissants. like we're on FaceTime, Amaya. Except this time we're wearing clothes. Okay. Thank you to the 2 people who stayed on Facebook while I made peanut butter and jelly. I don't need milk or chips. Yeah. Over here, that's Riley's mask. And the 2 people who passed out while I was reading. It's disgusting. The inside's covered in makeup. So good. I will always eat peanut butter and jelly if you put it in front of me. Three p.m. It's nearly 1 a.m. here. Well, I'm 39 minutes from it. It was fire. Fire. That's good. Do you have bread like we do in Australia? I don't know what mustachioli is. 9:21. Ooh. If you ever go to a con that I'm at, bring me sandwiches. Uncrustables aren't made with love, Lauren. I know. It's peanut butter and jelly break time, Krista Lynn. Wow, you're Southern. But you can't trust everyone's kitchen. Look, I've been in a lot of women's kitchens and I haven't died yet. We can head them. Amberosi. You're getting secondhand thirst from listening to me smack that. What a sentence. What a fucking sentence. Strawberry. Y'all ever had a fluffernutter? What? It's peanut butter and marshmallow cream. So good. It's got fluff and it's got nuts. Like me. Mm-mm. Never had a deep fried. Hi, Miranda. Four. Crystalline. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, if anyone caught you guys in my live, it would be reasonable to ask, what the fuck are you doing? You're all like, I can explain. Yeah, I'm working late again. Well, now that TL's saying it, it's kind of flattering. He like reads books and stuff. You wanted to hear the voice. No, it's peanut butter and jelly, T-Lin. I'm not a child. I don't eat bologna. Well, less weird things you've watched me eat. Yeah, that homeless woman's ass I did on cam was weird. Nurse got it. Fantastic, Nat. Oh, I'm about tired of eating, though. Listen, Miranda pays for premium. I bet my jaw hurts. Eh. Nah. What would you recommend to someone who's interested in becoming a narrator? A narrator. Well, to start, spell it out. We are a dignified people. Felt. All right. Well, you gotta buy a good mic. I recommend this one to start, the Rode NT1. I would, it's affordable, and if you end up crashing and burning, like most people that start this, then you will not have lost much money, and you can resell it for about half of what you put into it. And then you need to soundproof a space, I started in the closet, but then I quickly made my first booth, so you can have your husband build you a booth. Unless you're handy, in which case have at it. But a lot of my narrator friends say their husbands built it. But you need the treated space. That's a definite must. Then you got to learn the software. If you start with like Audacity or something, it's really simple. And then you then you need to convince authors to let you do your stuff. Some people make like reels and stuff of them. I don't do anything like other narrators do, and I never have. I don't ever want to, because I kind of like being just contrary. Hope this helps. Okay. Where are we? Perfect. Your teeth. What do you have, baby teeth or something? We can handle a little ice. A Dickie's cup? No, it's a Casey's cup. Well, that's because anyone that doesn't sound like the norm gets chased off. Yep. It is too bad. They want their women in the romance community. They want their girls to sound like corporate professionals, and they want their men to sound like absolute hookers. You like readers with accents? They don't get as much work if they sound different, is what I mean, Melania. Not bad for me, but it is bad for the female community. I mean, unless they submit. I don't chase them off. Bring them to me. I need to start charging for accents is what I need to do. I'd be giving that shit out for free. Well, no, not for free. I'd be giving that shit out for standard rates. I try to be pretty open about the fact that I am doing my job and here to make money. Well, fortunately, 99% of women have the same kind of, these books won't write themselves. Hey, thank you, TL, for coming in. Hope to see you again. Oh, I bet you say the word plague pretty funny. I bet you say it like plague. But when it comes to bag, you probably say bag. Oh, she used to be a teacher. Do you work with the same female narrators, or do you occasionally get one you haven't worked with? I usually work with the same ones, but I mean, your name's Crystalline. Of course, you got a southern accent. Um, but occasionally, a new one will slip in there. Am I reading smut? Not tonight. Not tonight, but I do. Well, thank you for the follow, Wild Irish Lass 17. Wow, that was a lot of sandwiches. May or may not should have. No, that's not how we talk. I just ate 4, but it's I may or mayn't have. Reese's peanut butter if I find it, and raspberry jam for your peanut butter and jelly. May or may not have. Thank you. Thank you, Krista and Nurse, for helping me figure out that very simple way to say what I wanted to say. I may or may not have. I don't even remember what I was going to say now, so it doesn't matter. May or may have not. May or may haven't. May haven't. May or may haven't. That's probably it right there. May haven't. I may or may haven't needed. May or may haven't needed eat for sandwiches. May or may haven't needed eats for sandwiches. You're Australian. I don't even want to hear it from you. Thank you, Miranda. No. No, Carrie. I may or may haven't needed eat for sandwiches. May haven't is a wonderful word that I've made up. I wonder if it's actually a word. May haven't. If it's a word, I'm going to tell you all to go fuck yourself. Yeah, it's definitely not a word. All one word. Well, it's a word now. Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever said that sober. Well, I don't tell anyone anything if they have a history of not listening. Oh, I'll be reading in a minute. Potato. It's called Hindenburg. I should not have eaten all them sandwiches. You may or may haven't been accused. Well, I'm going to be reading in a minute. I just had a dinner break. God, let a man eat. Swear, y'all hate to see us men happy. All right. Potato. I fucking love that name. All right. My haven't. Oh, my haven't. My haven't need to eat that. Where's that lady who is giving me hell about how much peanut butter I use? I know you're not potato. I am. Okay. I'm a rude flirt. There she is. Sassy Jem in the kitchen yelling at her man for using a tablespoon too much peanut butter. Peanut butter don't grow on trees. There's starving kids in Detroit and you're going to use that much peanut butter? Shameful. Okay. Whipped peanut butter? No. That feels like it would hurt. Whipped. There we go. Now we're getting to the root of it. Like what? Cool Whip. 12:45. All right. I need a shot of nicotine, which will only take me a moment, so there better be at least 62 of you when I get back, or else Lauren's getting spanked. Yeah, what if I came back eating another sandwich? No, that would get me in trouble. Yeah, I know. Yeah, if there's 62 of you in here when I get back, then you get a good girl. But we'll see. I ain't hedging any bets on it. All right, 54. That's shitty. Damn, 53. Thank you, Blood, for hanging out on Twitch this whole time. It was for Lauren's sake. Aw. That's what happens when I have 62 girls in here. Need to see your setup out of curiosity. Not right now. That gemstone girl will yell at me because it's a mess in here. All right, chapter 26. Back to... Oh, Lauren, I won't listen to you. See? Knew it. Can't just let a man be happy in his own space. It's almost 1. All right, good night, Melania. Thank you for coming in. But set up, I got a TLM 103, an Apollo X4, a Mac. And that's it. Yeah, well, I didn't have Sweaty feet today. Hello, Moses. How are you? Take over for me for a while. What are you doing awake this late? Don't you have things to do in the morning? Oh. Who? Yeah, everyone send Moses a heart for his nasty breakup. There you go, Moses. Everyone who sent a heart would blow you. Fantastic. Let me send a heart. Well, that's what the terms and conditions said. Who taking one for the team? We know, Sassy Gem. Did you put him in his kennel for tonight, Gem? Fucking Luna. Amen. Amen. And that's what I say after I read spicy things. Tell your husband I said you're welcome. You letting him play PlayStation. That's pretty cool of you. Good job. That's nice. That's nice. I am not behind your package. That's handled. You literally ordered it today. And I don't handle shipping on that. I think I'm kind of finished for right now. I'm going to have a meeting with PA tomorrow, and she'll probably have better ideas than what I had. Yeah, I got to figure out a way to no, it's not on the link tree. Yeah, I can put it on there, though. Let me just do that real quick. Link. move that down here below. All right. There you go. It is on the link tree. Chapter 26. I gripped Ming's hand gently. Do I have the... Where's my Discord? All right, go make dinner. You said others. This is 26. Shifting to look the way she had come from, she trembled. Amara climbed out of the spring and called out to the trees.
Gabu?
Where the fuck is Gabu? It's one of the goblins, okay.
Need of you.
A few seconds later, a hobgoblin stepped into the clearing with a squad of goblins behind him. The massive man bowed his head.
How can I help you, ma'am?
Gabu. Pointing in the direction that Ming had looked, she said,
Gabu, we have ref.
Here we go. Shit.
Dead to the homestead.
Gabu saluted.
Right away, ma'am.
Stepping back into the forest, the gray-skinned hobgoblin simply disappeared. Ming didn't seem to know exactly what Gabu was. Hobgoblin, I answered. They help guard the forest and are always near when we go out, just in case. Still looking to the north, Ming started to slump, her energy still waning despite the food. Leaning against me, her eyes started to close, and within another minute, she was fast asleep. Mary said softly.
They have been walking.
Amara asked. Considering we didn't even know there were mountains out there, I didn't need to say more. Turning to Amara, I nodded toward her clothes. Can you get dressed and take over for me while I get dressed? Bye, Gwen. Nodding, Amara quickly dried off while Mary did the same, having laid Nim down on the edge of the pool. Once we swapped positions, I dressed before picking Ming up. Mary helped Nim onto Ender's back, securing the girl with shadows as we started walking toward the homestead. It's winter, I said after a minute.
They all dressed for it.
Amara added. Yeah. Blowing out a rough breath, I picked up our pace. It was only a few miles to the homestead, and we didn't encounter any monsters. In fact, it had been a while since I encountered any outside from the other races. Even the wolves were no longer around, having given me the area. Reaching the homestead, we quickly entered and lowered the barrier, taking Ming and Nim through. Closing the barrier again, we hurried to my home and called for Lee.
What's going on? What's going on?
the elf asked as she ran over. We have a group showing up, I explained while holding Ming. Not sure their race, but they will likely be starving and need shelter. Reaching out, she took Ming from me.
I'll give her. I need to see you.
With a nod, I gladly handed Ming over. Turning to Amara, I forced a smile. Are you sure you wanted more people living here? Expression turning grim, Amara nodded.
Yes. There. Sitting out there.
I could only shake my head. I don't know. How long have they been starving? When did they hear about me and started making their way here? We both contemplated the questions until the alarm went off. All hands were on deck, including the apprentices and few families that had moved in. Turning off the alarm, I headed in the direction the alert came from. When I arrived, I found a group of nearly 50 of the scaled men and women with children mixed in. By the heavens, I muttered. Gabu nodded, having heard me. Lowering the barrier, I quickly allowed everyone in. Please follow me. I'll get you to safety and we'll prepare some food for each of you. Relieved murmurs filled the air as they entered and met Amara's musk, stopping in their tracks. It's just a precaution, I explained. You'll be able to get through it if you have the strength of will. I promise it will not harm you. Little by little, the group entered